Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be doing a different type of video than you're used to seeing. So I hope you guys enjoy it on this Friday. I hope everyone's having a good week. And let's get into it. The coffee table. This is a coffee table I made a few months back out of pallet wood. So how I did this was you take pallets, you take a Sawzall blade and you cut the pallets long, and then eventually you would get the pallet wood. You cut the nail ends off of each end and cut them to the correct width that you want to have for your coffee table or your butcher block or your project that you're working on. And then you prep both sides. Then you're going to want to glue. That's what I did, was glue on I pressed it against a straight edge so it was nice and straight. Glued all the boards together, made sure it was nice and flat, clamped it, let it set for overnight, maybe a day or two, but usually overnight is good enough for the glue to dry. Nice and flat. Then you can see after it's glued, you can see its bumps and ridges and the hardened glue. So after I glued it all, and I cut one end is the straight end and the furthest end, I began to plane it all flat with a hand planer, cutting it off and shaving it to make sure both sides are nice and flat. Then I created the end pieces. These would go around the edges of the entire butcher block, I guess the coffee table, and then I glued those on. You can see just, you glue the end piece is 3 wide of the oak boards. And then I glued those on, let those set. And then I put the 2 end caps on, and then I cut the ends of the corners off and put a third piece on to the corners. You'll see how that looks in a little, but you can see how the corner pieces just butt on. And then when you, there's a better picture of how the corners would look. Then you take a saw and cut them off straight, and it makes it look really kind of neat when it's all finished. There is the basics of what it looks like rough before I route the edges, but you can see the side pieces, the corner pieces, all put on after the main table has been created. Here's kind of a view. You want to make sure when you're doing a project like this to use all the same type of wood. You don't want to mix oak with pine or maple. You want all the wood to be kind of the same, and that helps with the expanding and contrasting of the wood. Here's a picture of the corner after you get the sides cut, you get the edges routed, and then you begin to sand. It turned out really neat. Then the bottom, here's me making the bottom, and all the same wood, but you can see how the bottom is all glued on and it is attached. And one thing I did special with this, you'll see in a second, was it's got like a compartment to put your stuff in when you lift it up. So the top of the table lifts up and it's got like a little secret cubby in the bottom. Also a neat kind of feature that took an extra 3 or 4 days to do, but turned out really neat. So here's the basics of the table, how you would make something like this. So here's the inside of the little cubby after it's all stained. I think I stained it with paraffin wax, sealer, and then urethane over the top. Turned out neat. There's the bottom. I did that with 1/4-inch oak slats, flooring slats at the bottom. And then this is when you I started doing the urethane over the top. And you can see kind of the pattern of the wood, how it's like 3 small 1/2-inch widths and then one 1-inch piece. and just back and forth with the small pieces and then the bigger piece to kind of give kind of a neat look. You can see how the grain looks pretty cool. More pictures, and then that's when the urethane is getting dried. After you put the first coat of urethane on, you let it dry, do another light sanding, get all the rough edges, put a second coat of urethane on, and it's 32 length by 22 wide. That's how it ended up. And there you see when it's all finished, it opens, and you got a little cubby in the bottom, and it's kind of locks. You do the end piece a little bit wider so it really locks into this groove. So you couldn't really open it unless you really gave it a good lift. But turned out pretty cool. The hinges are all cut into the table so they sit flush. And there it is when it's all completed, sitting in the living room with a copy of The Great Awakening on it. Great coffee table book that can start numerous conversations. If you would like to see more videos on woodworking or other projects I have done, please let me know in the comments. I've got lots of projects. I do all kinds of different things, welding and automotive stuff and woodworking and yard projects and all different kinds of stuff like that. You can find me on Mud Fossil Research and Truth, Mud Fossil Truth and Research. You can find me on Twitter in the box below. I'm on Rumble, BitChute, and Mud Fossil Research and Truth on YouTube. BitChute and Rumble channels are both under Modern American Gangster. You can get a copy of my great coffee table book, The Great Awakening, at lulu.com. Great Awakening Unit 1, Timeline of Historical Events. Great Awakening Unit 2, Continued Points of Study. There's an ebook or a digital download, or you can get both versions in one large Unit 1, Unit 2 combined. If you'd like to donate to these videos or these series, or you'd like to request a specific video, donations can be made at PayPal/mudfossil124875. Please like, subscribe, and follow. Leave any questions or comments. This was a little different than the normal videos. I am working on the part 2 of the previous video, and my internet is getting worked on, so we'll see when this gets uploaded, but I thought something different might be a little neat. Thank you for watching. The end. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and don't forget Mother's Day.